We're going to call the Harahan Council meeting on September 2016 to order.
Councilman Asbill,
Present.
Councilman Buddy,
Present.
Councilman Chatelain,
Present.
Councilman Johnston,
Present.
Councilman Wheeler,
Present.
Mayor Bodier,
Present.
Police Chief Walker,
Walker.
Present.
Fire Chief St. Cyr, Finance Director Todd Tunion,
Present.
City Attorney Scott Stansberry, and Municipal Clerk Nicole Lee is present.
I just wanted to be real clear, this is the September 16th, 2021 council meeting. And I'm going to move my mayor's message to back one and start bringing up department heads so we can give everyone in the city of Harahan an update of where we are at this point in time, because we still got a good way to go. But we just want to give everybody an update. In the very beginning of the storm, we didn't communicate as vigorously as we would like to have been. We had a lot of challenges in the very beginning, getting generators here, working, trying to choreograph the Entergy people, trying to get power back up, trying to get poles cleaned, out of the way. So we, please excuse me for not communicating so well in the very beginning. We tried to pick it up on the backside, but I really felt that, being on the streets and moving and making sure everything was going in the right direction was more important at the time. But again, if you ever want to reach me, my cell phone's 504-343-7762. I'll give you an update wherever I'm at anytime, no matter what. So, Madam Clerk, you want to go through and let's start bringing up the department heads, just give us a brief update?
Mr. Mayor, before we do that, can we make a couple of amendments to the agenda?
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Move to amend the agenda to add proposed resolution 2021-12 under resolutions, an emergency resolution of the Harahan City Council authorizing the administration to temporarily waive permit fees if the permit fee was necessitated by damages from Hurricane Ida.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to amend the agenda to add resolution, one more time, what was that number, Councilman?
2021-12.
2021-12.
Should be on the top of your packet. Yeah.
All right, we'll open for discussion. I will open the discussion. Anyone want to speak on adding proposed resolution 2021-12? All right, no one coming forth. We'll now close public hearing. Council discussion.
No discussion.
All
No
right,
discussion.
all in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Proposed resolution number 2021-12 is added under resolutions.
Nicole.
Okay?
Mayor, I know you said real quick, we didn't communicate to the public right away. I mean, we were down on internet. 4
Right,
days.
and I know, but I've heard that quite a bit, that we could have did a better job in the beginning, and I think we always can do a better job, because I think that's what we always should strive for, to do a better job. But I just want people to know that we're a real boots on the ground administration, and it was very important to get power back up, and getting power back up is the beginning of any restoration, and so that's what we did. We worked with every single thing we had and every elected official and every contact that we had for days getting power back up, whether that be generated power or electricity. And it took some time. I mean, we had to bring in generators from as far as Canada, Mexico. I mean, we were all over the country. Texas, we were everywhere trying to get generators here because, every other municipality and parish local were doing the same. And so it was a lot of work. And I just, always want to strive to be better and always want to be more vigilant to the community. But it was just a choice that I made, and it was the choice to let's get power back up now. And so, and that's we'll have that recognized as some of our department heads come up and speak about it, and so you'll get a better understanding of what the mindset was when we walked out the morning of the storm.
You want to start?
And Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add number 3 under new business. We were originally planning on discussing the up-to-date of the 2021 budget. I know we were supposed to do it at our last meeting, and then it came to this meeting. So I'm going to make a motion to add it to our October meeting, which will be scheduled for Thursday, October 21st. It's our regularly scheduled council meeting. The budget discussion, there'll be no action taken, just strictly discussing the 2021 budget. The time will start at 6. So we'll do budget discussion from 6 to 7 and then adjourn. and then start our regularly scheduled council meeting. So I'd like to add that to new business number 3, please.
So we're now open for public hearing. If anyone wants to come speak on adding new business number 3, budget
Second.
update on October 21 from 6 to 7.
Oh, October 21st. It's going to be in our regularly scheduled council meeting. We're just going to do it from 6 to 7, adjourn, and then start the regular meeting.
All right, no one coming to speak forth. We'll now close public hearings.
Second.
Also have a second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you.
Budget meeting is added to the October 21st agenda from 6 to 7. Madam Clerk?
Then we're going to do hurricane recovery reports.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want to start with Rob Chong?
Let's start with Rob Chong.
Pipeworks, plumbing, and demolition. What's plumbing and demolition?
Rob, when you come up and for all the departments, just say a little bit about what you do. You know, say what part of the cleanup you are. You know, you're debris cleanup. So you
Okay,
know.
Rob Chong with Pipeworks Plumbing. We have the contract.
You pick it up rather than leave.
We have the contract to remove the debris after the hurricane for the city of Harahan. At the end of today, we feel that we have made a first pass to remove vegetation on 80% of the streets in Harahan. As this past Monday, we also started picking up black bags with leaves. Tuesday and Wednesday had rain, so we suspended that part, but we had a crew back on the streets today removing black bags. So we feel maybe midweek of next week, we should make 100% on that first pass.
Awesome. I mean, it was, you know, I know a lot of people didn't see it, but it's been rough out there. I mean, you and I worked a lot on this, and I mean, the debris out there was incredible. So,
A lot of debris, and of course, the rain hampers your production. And we're working on a soft field to begin with, so we had to implement some extra equipment to keep the debris moving off the streets into the temporary dump site that was chosen by the council and the members. So, yes, there is a lot, but I want to say the council, the fire chief, the chief of police, Edwin, the mayor, and all the council really did a good job communicating with us that helped make the production come to this point so far. So a lot of good communication behind the scenes to help us get that debris off the curb and into the playground. And I want to compliment the citizens also, because they did an outstanding job separating vegetation
awesome.
from C&D and from leaves. So the citizens deserve a pat on the back also.
Thank you for clearing that up. You got it.
Besides all the bottled water they want to give us, and biscuits and coffee and all those other nice things, they've been really helping us out. And the guys out there, the crews really appreciate their help.
Got it.
That's nice.
Rob, you assisted in Hurricane Katrina cleanup.
Yes, we
Can you
did.
compare this more, less, just quick, rough guess right now?
It's pretty close as far as the amount of debris put out on his first pass. I just think the last time there was more trees, and between the storms from there and Andrew and Zetter, you have maybe a little bit less, but I'm going to say it's pretty close right now. And I think we're going to have a lot of C&D coming our way,
Right.
because contractors are finally getting the permission from the adjusters and homeowners to now start moving in and doing that. And that's why we kind of scheduled the C&D after a first or second pass, to give the homeowner an opportunity to get their stuff from their house out to the street curb.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Wait, Rob, do you want to go over the order of the items that you're picking up, like debris first, and then?
Yes, the first pass is the vegetation, which is the tree limbs. We try to get that out because that's the bulk of the material out on the curb, and we try to get it to the playground so it don't end up back in the street, like we had a past storm just come through Nichols, and it starts clogging up the catch basins and starting to flooding the streets and flooding the homes again. So that's normally the first call that we make, is on vegetation. Then we'll come with the leaves in the bags, and then after that we do C&D.
C&D is construction debris.
C&D is construction debris, and riding around, I've seen very little white goods. I don't think I've seen a dozen either refrigerators, dishwashers, or washing machines. Very little on that end.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
Thank you for everything.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You want to do Kelly?
Yep, let's bring up Kelly.
Kelly, blue flash.
She loves the microphone.
Yes.
Hey, council. Sewer. We started the 30th, storm hit on the 29th. We started on the 30th, hooking up city-owned assets, bypass pumps, generators. Started hauling with trucks to accommodate the areas that we didn't have enough assets for. And then, like the mayor said, started searching the whole world looking for generators and pumps. Everything was set up. I think we just had one minor spill with sewer on the street in Harahan Oaks for a couple of minutes. Other than that, it went really good. Like Rob said, communication with you guys was awesome, kept us moving and doing what we needed to do. Help from everybody, Mr. Edwin and his crew and chiefs. So,
And in 3 days, we were fully operational on sewer. We either had a generated power, we had some kind of power back to it, and in 3 days, we were moving sewer.
that was fun.
Which is an incredible feat because, you know, a lot are not. A lot are not at this point, and it's an incredible feat to have that done, and we knew how important it would be because we didn't want spills. And with Kelly and her team, they've been incredible to work with, and within 3 days, I'm very proud of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're proud to work with you guys. It's a lot different than working with the other municipalities we work with, I promise you.
So guys, Kelly is in charge of our sewer. She's a subcontractor. She does an amazing job all year long. For the storm, her and her team are out there in the weather hooking up the pumps. I mean, we'll give Rob credit, but he comes after the storm's over. Kelly's out there doing it instantly, and they did an amazing job, and I'd put her top on our list right now, guys. Nothing against anyone else, but she went above and beyond with her team in the middle of the storm, and I'm very comfortable. We had very minor sewer backup, and it's amazing. I mean, that's hard to say. I mean, I could sit right here and say, I don't know if another municipality is going to be able to say this. So I want to give her extra praise. It's amazing. We are a small municipality, and it's outstanding what she done. We couldn't have did it without her. Thank you.
Thank you. I couldn't do it without y'all, though, too.
Yeah.
And her
And my
husband.
husband.
That's part of her team. I'm
And
giving
my
her her
husband,
team.
yeah.
I mean,
His name's Keith, by the way.
no,
Keith.
no one can do it by herself. I mean, everybody here. I mean, and we're all on the same team.
And
But
to
it's
add
amazing.
What Rob said about Nicholas, them trying to get the trash picked up, they did really good because we rode around with our vacuum truck,
Yeah.
whatever day it was. Does anybody know what day it is
No,
anymore?
we still don't know.
So we rode around in the rain looking for catch basins that may be causing an issue, and I think we found one.
Yeah.
So everybody did, the citizens and Rob and them
And the
all
same
did a
note,
good job.
Kelly also coordinated when energy. I mean, they drive a pole and they hit a water line. She assists us with that to Jefferson Parish, to the water department. I mean, she wears 20 hats, guys. So it's amazing to have her a part of our team.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I
Thank
love
you.
working with y'all.
Thank you. Let's bring up Mr. Bob Romelli.
All right. Come on, Bob Romelli.
Mayor, Council, I'm Bob Romelli with Romelli Waste, and just want to tell you that we think we're back on schedule. We did some quick numbers that in the last 8 months, we picked up 4,000 tons of garbage. In the last 15 days, we've picked up 400 tons of garbage. So we're at the 50% of what we normally pick up for the month. We've already picked up in this time. It's been hard. We've gone and hit each route 3 times so far since the storm has started. My crew was out there in the rain and the heat, and nothing stopped them. I'm sure we've missed some houses, and we're sorry that we did, but there's a lot of houses out there, and there's a lot of garbage out there.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, and I'm not knocking y'all. Y'all did miss a few streets, but I'm praising y'all. Y'all doing an amazing job. Of course, the people whose streets you missed, they're calling complaining.
Sure.
And it's hard. I know your employees are short-staffed. I mean, they have to deal with their own issues, with their own houses and stuff. I think y'all doing an amazing job, and I think you're pretty much caught up on schedule. Missed a couple houses here and there. Same note, the people are putting their trash out right behind the tree debris. You don't necessarily see it when you pass it,
Right.
but y'all also did an amazing job.
Well, we appreciate
Eddie,
it.
Yeah.
Which-
Yeah, I want to
Eddie.
definitely commend
Ed.
Eddie because he has been
He's
so
amazing.
responsive. I mean,
He-
every time we got Eddie
I
on
mean,
the
he's
phone.
been living out here. He's been
Yes.
part of the team, and we
Yeah.
really appreciate
Yeah.
what
he's
done.
amazing.
Yep, Eddie that works with Mr. Romelli has been part of our team. He's come to all our meetings, and
Yeah.
he has been, yeah, I mean, unbelievable, bar none, and he
Checks
has
in
really killed
on
it,
a daily
and is so responsive on every single call.
He told me today that we lost 39 cans, and we got them all back, except I think there's 6 out there that we have to replace at this point.
Right.
You know,
That's
so we're
great.
pretty much back on schedule with everything. I rode Harahan today, and there's still a lot of garbage out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you there's not a lot of garbage out there. The trucks have been packing out with 20 tons at a time, and normally we have 16 to 18 tons on the truck. Our return to the landfill, not any fault of theirs, it's just that it's so busy out there.
Right.
Where it used to be about an hour and 15-minute turnaround, it's a 3.5-hour
Oh, wow,
turnaround.
wow.
So we're spending 6 hours a day just at the landfill,
Wow.
trying to dispose of the garbage.
Yeah.
And that's what's slowing us down a little bit.
Right.
And at y'all's request, we've been running 6 days a week. And we will continue to run it 6 days a week as long as y'all want us to.
And that's
So,
another thing I was going to bring up, that I was missed on one of those days, but the following day, which isn't a normal pickup day, y'all were still out there and y'all ended up picking up the following day.
right, and
So-
what we're trying to do is, we're trying to pack the trucks out 100%. We don't want to go to landfill with a half a load.
Right.
So what's happening is the residents are putting out the garbage every day now. And if a driver's going to the landfill and the truck's only, 60% full, they'll start picking up whatever they see. And it's really screwing the residents up a little bit. I kind of asked them not to do that because they think that we are doing something wrong, but we're trying to do something right. If
Right.
you understand what I'm saying. They get confused, why did we pick their garbage out? They put it out last night for the day's pickup, but it got picked up today, so, what's wrong? And so, but now we're back to normal.
Good.
So I think everything will start going a lot smoother.
Wow, that's some awesome.
good.
That-
Yep,
good.
absolutely.
That's exactly what we need. The citizens are asking to hear from us tonight. Again, amazing job. Eddie's been amazing. Thank you so much for helping us.
Well,
through
we
all of this.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anything y'all
You got
need,
it.
to
Thank you.
call us.
You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Edwin.
I don't know how many hurricanes this is that I've been through with you guys, especially Eric and the rest of them, since Katrina. We're at will. We're doing what we have to do when it's asked of us. The mayor just got me a new hire, Joshua, fine fellow. He's a college kid, but, yeah, he's gonna work out real fine.
Good.
My backhoe's broken, we all know that. The front four-way bucket on the front's completely broke. So I'm out of backhoe right now. The mayor, we talked to Doggett, it's a 3-month wait to get what we need. I tried to rent one, there is no rental. Not with a four-way bucket, I can get one with just a slide bucket, but you can't really do a whole lot with that. Between that and all the other little knick-knack stuff, cutting up poles, cutting up debris. The other thing was H&O, our median out in front. They haven't cut the grass. I called them Monday, talked to Steve. They were supposed to come out Tuesday, but then it started raining. You know how that is. You can't really cut it when it's raining.
Right.
We want to try, and also we asked to make sure that they have the street sweeper as they do it, so we don't get something, it's gonna be a lot. And we still have some debris on there, we're gonna probably pick it up tomorrow. Just so it's there, and he ever gets ready, we're ready for him.
And y'all did start working on street signs, stop signs. I mean,
I'm doing
stop
a
signs
list
are
now.
most
I'm
important.
making my list now. With FEMA, I gotta have GPS coordinates for every one of those signs that are missing. We got people calling for street lights. I'm just happy to have electricity, but that's another thing you gotta have. You gotta have coordinates for every one of those. It's a slow process, but we'll get there.
Right.
It's for me, guys. It's just, we get overwhelmed. Gary's running around like a chicken with his head cut off with the sewer plant.
Yeah.
That's another thing. We got a problem over there. It's half of it's blown down. I did pre-pictures. I'm doing post-pictures now. The sewer plant's a mess. It is. Well, I'm waiting to hear from Todd about that hydrogen sulfide, or not sulfide, but the chlorine, that sulfide chlorine tank that's in the back with the roof laying on top of it. I got pictures of it. We need to do something with that right away. Other than that, we're responsive.
Right.
And
You
we
know that.
appreciate everything you and your team are doing. I think y'all going above and beyond. They're here on the weekends,
Oh,
nights,
yeah.
late, anything we ask for, they're here. He doesn't have a big team, but the little bit of team he has, they're giving
Gary
us all they
Fleming is
got.
my best guy, you know that. Gary's
Um,
always on the spot when we need him.
And Mr. Edwin's been here longer than all of us working with the city, so he ought to have this down pat.
Yeah.
Well,
So can we clearly say
we've
if
been
it didn't
through it a
happen,
few
it's
times,
Mr. Edwin's fault?
Yes.
Okay.
plus Rena, I'm gonna tell you right now, Rena's been through this with me. We've been to GOSEP, we've been to all the lectures, all that relationship over the years. Of course, you lose half of it over the years, but for the most part, we get it down pat. Now, when FEMA shows up here, it's gonna be a pain in
Right.
to get the WPs out of them, to get the money flowing back to us. It's gonna be a little bit of a
Yeah.
problem.
We're
There's a lot of-
prepared.
Yep.
We know you're
I
doing your
know.
part.
Yeah.
Keep all your paperwork.
Document.
That's what we gotta do.
Whatever you do, make sure you got it in
And that's even
writing.
the same for homeowners. You should document,
Everything.
document.
Everything, because I got my book, when we did Katrina, I had my book, and they tried to get it away from me, I wouldn't let them have it. I made a copy of it for them, but I would never let them have my Katrina book. To this day, I still got that book.
Thank you, sir. We
Thank you
greatly
so much, Mr.
appreciate it.
Edwin.
Thank you.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
good.
You got it. Mr. Edwin is our maintenance director, just to make sure everyone knows that. And then we got our city engineer, Mr. Rick Meyer.
Good evening, Rick Meyer with Meyer Engineers. Rob has kind of pretty much told y'all everything you needed to know about the debris pickup. And like Edwin says, Meyer Engineers is out there doing the monitoring and documenting for the FEMA so we can get reimbursed. And Rena has really been helping me a lot with that project. So we were reporting to Rena maybe every day or every other day, just keeping in touch. And the other thing we're doing is damage assessments. We started with the firehouse. The firehouse is in really bad shape. So we're documenting what we're gonna do, and we're gonna, like Edwin said, we're gonna turn it over to FEMA, try to get a project worksheet to get what we can fixed. And tomorrow morning, the staff is gonna be out here at Town Hall, City Hall, and the police department.
Yeah.
And
So
the
what,
playground.
so what we're going to do with our city engineer is, what he's alluding to is that we'll go to every building, and we'll document every single building, put a full report together for every single building that the city owns, and start handing all of that over to FEMA to make sure that, we're crossing every T and dotting every I. And that's Rick's real specialty here, is to make sure that we cross every T and dot every I.
And we're gonna turn that over to the insurance company
Got
too.
it. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Rick.
I think that's everybody. Come on up. Uh-oh. One more thing, yeah.
I got a cubic yardage. I'd like to just share this. I got a cubic yardage of how much debris has been picked up. Probably about Tuesday of this week, or Wednesday, I'm not quite sure what day they added up. But Myers is the monitors that write each load ticket for the vegetation being picked up. And it looks like so far we picked up 20,000 plus cubic yards.
Wow.
And if you pass by the playground, you could see, how much debris is out on the site. So, and they picked up with us and worked with us even though it was raining on Tuesday and Wednesday. So crews were still on the street in the rain. But 20,000 plus cubic yards is what it's saying so far.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, now we need a new one.
I'm gonna have to appropriate y'all some more funding. State Representative John Elk, District 78. It's been a tremendous ride. From 3 weeks ago tonight, we sat in your office and we talked to prepare for what we were about to deal with. None of us, I don't think, had any idea what we were gonna deal with. I appreciate the efforts of the chief, both in the fire department and the police, for what they did, checking on the residents throughout this area. I'd get a phone call, I'd call Todd or call the chief of police, and they were there immediately. All of you guys were great also. We were in constant contact throughout this entire ordeal. We're lucky. We're very lucky people that we have dealt with and then come back so quickly. There's plenty of parishes that aren't as lucky as we are. And the fact that we're sitting in this room less than 3 weeks later having a council meeting in air conditioning is something I think a lot of the rest of our parish, meaning Lafitte and Grand Isle and all the surrounding parishes to our west, would love to be doing tonight. They're unable to. I don't want us to forget those other parishes, and I know the council and the firehouse has been down to Lafitte to help the other communities. Just because we're back up, let's not forget them. We had over 2,000 poles down on the east bank, of utility poles on the east bank of Jefferson Parish. That Monday, if you told me 10 days later we were gonna have power, and our biggest complaint we have now is lack of internet, because not everybody has internet, we're fortunate. Half the houses down in Terrebonne Parish are uninhabitable. These people are living in tents. They don't know where to live. There are no hotel rooms for these people. So as bad as when you hear somebody complain, you want to say, take a ride and be fortunate the storm didn't come 15 miles further to the east. Because I was in St. Charles Parish last night, and they're still sitting in the dark, over half the people. And their spirits are up the same way our spirits were up. You guys have done a great job cleaning this city up, but there's still damage down there. The electrical lines, they're not done. We just got up quicker to be on our way to being better, but the damage is still here. But the pain is felt all around us. So I came here today to thank our first responders, thank you guys, thank our military that staffed all throughout this area, thank all the groups that I've been with to go feed all these other groups and to continue to do that. I know a lot of people want to volunteer your time. Call me, I'll put you somewhere. If you want to go help, I've got plenty of people in this state. There's 26 parishes that we hit, so there's other people that need help. If you got a church group that wants to go help somebody gut a house, Lafitte's got a foot of mud pretty much everywhere through your yard. If you haven't seen it, they flooded. They lost a bridge. There's a military bridge, one way in, one way out. To cross the bridge, they got the military manning this bridge to go 5 miles an hour. We're fortunate. We can go out to eat. These people are still cooking, if they're lucky enough to have power, if they haven't been flooded. I just want everybody to recognize how fortunate we were. It was terrible. Most of us got out of this unscathed, and I want to thank Bill Latterer for feeding everybody. You don't want to overlook him, because that was a big part. He was open with his doors, his building blown down, and he was feeding everybody the next day. I want to thank the citizens for being there, the ones who left it and got out, and the ones who stayed and stayed out the way and tended to their property. The next day, I walked the neighborhood by my parents in Harahan Oaks, and 6 in the morning, everybody's up cleaning up, picking up. It's what we do. We come back. We're resilient people. I want to thank my friend in the legislature, DeWitt Carrier. This man's in a wheelchair. 2 days after the storm, he drove generators down here and then brought 500 gallons of fuel, which we gave away to the residents. 5 gallons. I know it's only 5 gallons, but it's what we could do. And then he sent more down to the 3rd District firefighters, because my district isn't just Harahan. But that's the type of people I serve with. I had legislators from all over the state come to this area, and they would helped us out at the beginning. And I said, you know what, don't help us, go help the others, because we were kind of back on our feet. We had a gas station open. We had fuel. We were getting back on our feet slowly, but we recovered quickly. And we're not there yet, but I just want people to remember the others. Remember the ones that are still sitting there, because I know we wouldn't want to still be sitting in the dark. And these people were strong people out in Lake Charles last year after Laura. People sat for 5 weeks in the dark. They went 4 weeks without water. We were fortunate. Our water was off for like 2 days, and we got our water system back, and the boil order lasted a little long, but we came back and we got through it. But we're tough people, and it's very hard. There's a lot of people without roofs over their head. I consider myself, people ask me from out of state, how are you doing? I said, we're doing great. You know, it's the other ones I forget about, but you guys did a great job. I'm happy to be out. I thought you guys should know, I thought the public should know what a tremendous job, and I'm sure they can see it. Your internet, your cable, your AT&T, they're coming. They have told me Harahan and River Ridge were a little tough, a lot of trees, and a lot of these people's lines got dropped when they were putting your power back up. So they have to rerun a lot of things out here. But I think you guys just got coxed today. It was right, Chief? They told me, I called to complain, and they said, y'all just got up an hour ago. The phones. The phones are back on at City Hall, but they're responsive. They don't have the fleet of people that Entergy had down there. And you go back to Entergy. They did a tremendous job. When we first heard this, it was going to be 4 weeks. We all were resigned. When the transmission line went down, we were all resigned. It's going to be 4 weeks. It wasn't. It was 9 days of recovery. 9 days, most of us had power. It's a tremendous effort. And I know some people were upset it took long, but 9 days for what we had we had a huge storm. That was the strongest storm I ever stayed through. And I think those guys need to be applauded. The linemen that were here to do that, and everybody that was here working, we worked together, and that makes me proud to be a Louisianian, and I'm proud to serve you guys, and I'm proud to serve with y'all. And thank you for letting me be here tonight, and everybody go pat yourself on the back because you deserve it.
You know, Big, when we had our pre-storm meeting, his name's Big, we know his state representative Big, we call him Big. And we looked at each other in that meeting and we said, we don't have a good feeling about this.
No, we didn't.
Yep, and we were right on that one. And number two, one thing, I was on a call today with Congressman Steve Scalise. I mean, you literally had parish presidents breaking down. They were breaking down because they literally have nothing and no way to help their constituents. It was not that I didn't have I was in Lafitte, I know what that looks like, but to hear other parish presidents come on and other mayors come on, man, it was shook me up quite a bit.
Well, they feel the pain. I've been down there to see it, and if you have the time and you want to go travel, I don't want to go get in the way of anybody. Grand Isle's not ready for us to be. They're not even close. They're still pushing sand off the roads. But a lot of these other places, they're just happy to see that they haven't been forgotten. Help them serve a meal. Go work their food line. They need all the help they can get because the people are really hitting the wall. The people that are down there, I was in Des Allemands last night, and the young lady I was dealing with down there to help coordinate, she asked if we could help them, if you knew anybody that could help feed their community. She had the supplies, she just couldn't do it anymore. She was tired. The people down there were cooking. She said, can you give us a night? I said, sure. I never even met her. I got St. Mary Magdalene's Church, their men's club, which I'm part of. I volunteered them without telling them. And they were happy. I just got 2 thank yous thanks for thinking of us to come volunteer. We've never cooked that much white beans before. We got together, we cooked it, brought it to them, served it. They were so appreciative of the fact that other people haven't forgotten them. And the further you go down south to Golden Meadow doesn't have any power yet. They haven't even gotten to them. They're working their way down there. Those people, I don't know how they deal with it. They're lucky. The weather's not so hot right now, but it's quite a sight when you go down there and you realize when you come back home, yeah, I need a new roof and my fence is down, and we'll get to that. We'll fix that. But these other people are still suffering, and I'm not trying to be a downer about this. I don't want the other communities. You see these other people and you go, where are you sleeping? And they go, sleep in my car at night because it's hot and the mosquitoes are bad. And the guy tells you that and you're like, wow. He's trying to pick up the sticks and the pieces of wood. You hear that from people and you're like, sleeping in your car at night. That's pretty rough after 3 weeks.
Here we try to keep up, encouragement, and we try to, make everybody, even though this city got hit hard, and we try to keep everybody encouraged and try to keep everybody positive, and it was real hard to do in the very beginning. And I would tell everybody, I always wanted a spa in my bedroom, and now I got one. It's coming right through the brand new hole I got in my ceiling of my brand new home, right? And it was just, that's how you had to do it, because it was just a lot here. I mean, Councilman Chatterling picked me up at 4 o'clock in the morning, actually turned my generator on and said, time to go. And that's it. We hit the street 4 o'clock in the morning, right after the storm ended, and I don't think we've stopped since.
No, y'all haven't. Y'all have been going at it since the beginning, and I I think we've done a tremendous job in this area, and I look forward to continuing to work with everybody. One of the brightest stories I had one day is the military. I got to become pretty good friends at the pod over at the Shrine on Airline, and I said, "Is there anything I can do for you today?" He said, "Man, we only have like 4 tents out here. Can you get us some more pop-up tents?" And I put it on Facebook, and they had like 20 tents delivered. The guy said, "Stop bringing the tents." It's like an hour later. He said, "We don't need any more tents. We're good."
Right.
But it was, that's the type of spirit is everybody wanted to give back. And I said, "Hey, let me get you a tent back." And everyone said, "I don't care about that tent, man. Let them have it." I'm glad, let them bring it to wherever they are now. And that group is now picked up and moved to St. James Parish. But don't forget that those military, they're young people. A lot of the people out there are my son's age, you know, late teenagers, early 20s, and they're sitting out there every day with a smile helping the people of our community. And we're very fortunate to have them. There was almost 700 National Guardsmen, mostly from Louisiana, but a lot from all over the country that were here. And to serve us, and I'm very proud of them also for being here and working with us through this. And they, you know, as hot as it was, those guys did it with a smile every day. They got up and went 8 to 6 every day, being out there at 7 in the morning, working all day, and we're happy to do it. And we're very fortunate to live in this country and in this state. And thank you guys all for a good recovery, and we'll continue on, and don't forget our fellow
Yes, sir.
people in the South. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Y'all have a great
Thank
day.
you.
You too.
Okay, we're gonna go to, you wanna go to Chief Walker?
Good evening, Tim Walker, Harahan Police Chief. This city, after going through what we went through, had a lot of devastation. But the biggest thing I'm grateful for, nobody got hurt. We're very, very, very fortunate. A lot of damage. We put our action disaster plan into effect the 29th of August. We took our 2 day watch units, put them into one. Same thing with our 2 night watch groups. So we've had 7 to 10 or more units on the street 24 hours a day since the storm started. We're going to continue that and through the 25th of September. We've got a lot of people coming through the city. As just mentioned a minute ago, we just got telephone service back for the police department today. So I know I always say call 911. 911 is working. We're dispatched over the 911 system with Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. If you need police, fire, EMS, 911 is the number to call. We just got electricity back last Thursday. We've been on generator power. We've had officers sleeping in the station and also at the senior center. Right after the storm, we had one major incident. An individual pulled a gun on one of our debris pickup crews. He was arrested. His gun was confiscated. He went to jail. We've had one looting in the last couple of days, and an arrest was made on that, and some property was recovered. Remember, school's in session. Drive carefully. As Edwin was mentioned, there's a lot of traffic signals, such as stop signs, that are not up. So please drive carefully. Again, our officers are going to be out through the 25th of September. The 2 watches working day and the 2 watches working at night. And if you need us, 911. Chief St. Cyr wants to give some thanks to a few people, if you don't mind.
Come on.
One of the first things that happened immediately after the storm, people started coming to the police station bringing things to us. And we didn't get everybody's name at the time because we were kind of scrambling to run around, but we have a few people that we want to single out and discuss. Hadel's Bakery took care of us tremendously. Subway, Herbie Krause just brought everything from his store to us. That was awesome. They all asked for you. About the time we're tired of eating ham sandwiches, they came in with some barbecue. Bienvenues set up and cooked for us before they had power. Megan from Jackson, Mississippi brought a bunch of supplies down to us. Frito in Elmwood, Mr. Johnny Unger brought supplies to us when we didn't have, when we didn't even have ice yet. Copeland's has brought us food. Councilwoman Wheeler brought us pizza when we were pretty tired of sandwiches once again. Snowballs from Councilman Asbill and the communication that we had from all the council members, the power that we had from Councilman Chatelain. Every time we would turn around, we were waking him up, and he would come out there and help us get power again. You know, and the entire council stayed in communication with us with what we needed, and we appreciate that. That was very needed. Of course, State Representative Ill, Senator Talbot, Councilman Bonanno, they were in and out of our city constantly communicating with us. The mayor, from 2 days before the storm, prepping, through the storm, you know, immediately afterwards out there. JPSO and the levee district, these guys were invaluable to us, responding on calls, coming into Harahan. You know, we had force multipliers well above what we could afford. I mean, JPSO and levee district were backing us up constantly. We had very few incidents in the city because we were everywhere, and we had a lot of help. We set up checkpoints, and I again want to thank the citizens of Harahan who were so cooperative with us. It's got to be strange to drive around in your city and to have checkpoints and have people checking your IDs as you're going on. It seems surreal, but everyone was so cooperative with us when we did that. They understood when we were stopping people in neighborhoods in front of their own homes. Not one citizen got angry or nasty or was, you know, miffed because we were stopping them in their yard or stopping them in their backyard or you know, we were everywhere, and these citizens were so cooperative with everything. It was really nice to see. Some other people we need to thank, saving time, saved our hide with fuel when they came in and did what they did. Ray with the Shell station, Charlie with Charlie's Auto Repair. I mean, everybody, whatever we needed, they did it for us. You know, we count on GOSEP to provide certain things to us, you know, immediately after a storm, and sometimes there's a delay. Well, our citizens and our businesses stepped up to help us. The JPEOC bent over backwards. Every request we made, they were there for us. The Harahan Fire Department, these guys are just incredible. They're pros at what they do. You know, been there, done that. They you know, between organizing supplies, getting roads open, so that we could respond to stuff, just everything. They were incredible, and particular thanks for some of the firemen for keeping us hydrated, you know, constantly. And so I want to thank them for that. And you know, all of our representatives, you know, they were there for us. It's unusual. We've been through a lot of storms before. To have your state representatives and state senators and parish council people being there in the middle of all that, that doesn't happen all the time. Our people did. I want to thank they were there for us, whatever we needed, and that was a big deal. So thank you, and thank the citizens, because without it, you know, it makes it a lot tougher for everybody to do their job. Everybody was very understanding, very cooperative. The few incidents we had were some people not from Harahan. So we want to thank our citizens. Thank you. And if there were people who brought stuff to us, supplies to us, I apologize. We didn't get everybody's name at the time because we were going crazy. And if anybody wants to write us a letter, an email, and let us know who you are, I want to mention you, because those things were well appreciated, and we're very thankful for everything that we got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief St. Cyr?
I'm not going to sit and repeat everything that he just said, but a lot of those same people helped us, Eric with power, and Jason all night running calls with us, Greg all night running calls with us, the mayor being there, answering every phone call and meeting with us whenever we call for you. Councilman Wheeler, you know, you always our rock. We appreciate you. Brian, it doesn't go unnoticed that you did mention Haydell's first. We know the police department likes pastries. We won't talk about that. We won't talk about that, but we definitely appreciate, again, the Harahan Police Department, the many incidents that they run with us. They make every call that we make. They always have somebody on scene for us in case we need them, and we definitely appreciate that. Now they have 2 or 3 guys on scene with us, you know, 2 or 3 cars every call we have. So we started the night of the storm. As soon as the winds dropped down below 50, our men got back out on the street and responded to the emergency calls that we had. We had several calls that they were holding that we couldn't respond to. As we've always said over the years, as much as we hate it, we can't put our guys in harm's way where metal's flying and, someone can get killed. So we do hold them back until the winds retreat below 50 again. So as soon as that happened, we hit the ground running. We responded to many gas leaks, many power poles on homes, many trees on homes where we did disposition checks. We had to clear the roadway of both power lines, cable lines, and trees just to get to some of those calls. We probably ended those tasks at around 4 o'clock in the morning the night of the storm, and went in and caught a little bit of rest because we had been up all day during the storm. Caught very minimal rest and hit the ground at about 7 a.m. the next morning and started clearing trees. We were able to clear the trees and throughout the city within 2 days. That's incredible. So we were able to gain access to every resident that we needed to get to within 2 days. I mean, that's just amazing that, we were good during Katrina. We were better today, or this storm. We've learned a lot over the years. We've got some young guys that just hustle and don't stop. They don't understand the word stop. Even when I try to pull them in a lot of times, they're wanting to go, go, go. We have to give them their rest and their nutrition so that they can continue function. One discussion we always have before every storm is how are we going to feed our guys? What are we going to do when they need to eat? They have to have the food for energy, and I think now everybody understands that, hey, food's a pretty big thing that you have to plan for. One, you don't know whether you're going to lose refrigeration or what's going to happen, whether you're going to lose a roof or a building. So having as many plans as we have in place all over the place for these things comes to fruition, and you start tapping into those resources that you've built over the years. Bill Latterer was incredible for us. He kept us going. Without him, we run out of steam a long time ago. So we most certainly appreciate him. Rick Meyer, we called Rick on day one and said, hey man, we need some help. We don't know what to do. This is trouble over here in Paradise. Our beautiful building is not so beautiful anymore. And he's been a big hand. We're going to figure out, hopefully in the next few days, in what direction we're going to go. Right now, our guys are without housing. The VFW has been very gracious in allowing us to utilize their facility. I mean, they really literally just opened the doors and say, come on in, our home is yours. However, just like any organization, things need to come to an end, and they need to get back to doing what they do on a regular basis. And I know they had some rentals coming up that they need to get to, so we need to evacuate their facility, and we're working hard to put something together temporary for us. It may change the lay of the land around the Generis area at the playground. We don't know exactly what's going to happen yet, but that's kind of what our thoughts are. There's not a whole lot of places in the city for us to go. We had thought about Royland, but being back in the neighborhood with 3 of the big trucks and starting those trucks and making those calls in the middle of the night, as these guys will tell you, I don't think we've had a full night's sleep since the storm, because every night at 10 o'clock, we just get a call for something, or 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. We don't need to be starting those trucks up in the neighborhood, waking up those people every night. Even when it's not a storm, we still have a lot of rolls in the middle of the night for medical assistance and things like that. So I wanted to have some better stats for you as to exactly what we've done. We all know that we ran a lot of carbon monoxide calls. Unfortunately, most of the carbon monoxide calls that we had, there was carbon monoxide present in those homes. Several people brought to the hospital because of it. Fortunately, we didn't have any body that had expired. We got there in time, cleared the residents either by ventilating or at least just getting the residents out and out of harm's way. Of course, we ran a lot of power line calls, a lot of gas leak calls. We do special needs people, where people are on oxygen or bedridden. Unfortunately, right now, we have several people on hospice in the city, and we kind of tend to them throughout this event, starting as soon as boots hit the ground. We check on them multiple times a day. But what I do know is that since the end of the storm to present, including special needs responses and disposition checks, we've run over 150 calls. You know, about 50 of those, or a little less than 50 of those were the special needs. And actually, it may be higher than that. I mean, special needs may run up as high as 80 or 90. So we may be at around 190 calls at this point for service, which is just incredibly taxing on the small department that we are. We did bring all 3 shifts in for the duration. Matter of fact, we still, starting Monday, we made overtime voluntary. We've kind of gone back to a normal shift, but hey, if guys are off and they want to come give us a hand, right now, they're welcome. So we do have some guys still taking advantage of that. We're going to allow that to go on just as the police will through the 25th. It will be scaled back a little bit compared to what it was, but without that extra help on duty the entire time, we'd have never made it. We would have just been spent from get-go. You know, we gave out ice and water all day, a number of days, and then, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning, we're fighting a fire on Hickory Street in a 2-story building that goes 3 alarms. And we're out there for 4 hours just to have to go back and clean up for an hour and a half after and get our gear ready for the next call. We've had a couple of structure fires throughout this event. You know, the biggest being the one on Hickory Street. And that's about it. If I missed anything, I'm sorry, but we really do appreciate everyone who's been there for us. You know, the community, as everyone has said, has been great. You know, we're sorry that you don't have cable back yet. However, it's coming. Yeah, we just got ours back at the firehouse, I think yesterday, was it, guys? Or the day before? And, you know, we're finally able to get to doing our reports and things like that have been backed up for the last 3 weeks. Trying to think if there was anything else. I saw Kurt Talbot and I lost my train of thought. Kurt Talbot's another one that's always there for us. You know, he showed up. Oh, our guys did have the opportunity to feed some linemen a couple of nights. There was some crews. It's amazing that they come down and they have everything set up except for a way to feed their guys. And we just appreciate them being here and working as hard. So, you know, they came looking and we started feeding. So there was several nights that we were able to feed a crew of linemen, which after working all day and doing what they did, they were actually proud to continue and help somebody else, because we know we've been out of town looking for food too. You know, our crews have gone and helped many communities after a storm like this, and we're in the same position. We bring enough peanut butter and jelly and bread and some chips and some drinks, and we make sure we have our Gatorade and water because we know we're going to need that. But as far as other meals, when somebody's willing to give you one, it's great to eat something normal. And we've eaten pretty good. I think I've lost a couple of pounds, even though it doesn't look like it. Anyway, thank you all very much. Harahan, we appreciate you. We hope you appreciate us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Senator Talbot. Up.
One entity I forgot, AC Supply in Elmwood.
Oh, AC Supply, yes, sir.
AC Supply cooked for all first responders and sent dozens of meals to the linemen that we delivered to a bunch of linemen out here.
Yeah, Mr. Bill Lark at AC Supply, yeah. Mr. Bill Lark, he's a local.
I know Brian would like to get up and do it again, but for him, I'll say, you know, thank you to Haydell's Bakery. The police department really, really appreciated what you did for them.
Thank y'all. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, members of the council. I know Representative Ilg spoke, so I'll try not to be redundant, but I do want to thank y'all for it. I think we had a really good food giveaway last week. I guess it was last week. I'm losing my train of thought, but I want to thank, you know, Coca-Cola donated all the water. We had Senator Kathy from Monroe, Senator Mike Reese from Leesville, and that's way up north. If y'all don't know where Leesville is, they came down, cooked jambalaya. We had spaghetti. We had a really good turnout. So, you know, thank y'all for making that very easy, and we all worked together. And I think we gave out, what, Mr. Mayor, over 500 meals, I think.
I think it was close to 1,000 meals.
Yeah,
It was close to
it was a
1,000
lot.
meals.
But, I'm glad I live in this area. No, I don't live in Harahan. I'd have had power on and cable on sooner.
I tried to
So
tell 'em.
Maybe
I
I'll,
tried to tell 'em.
put my house up for sale. But, we're all working on Cox. We're all staying on them. One thing, we are going to have a joint commerce meeting Monday in Baton Rouge. You can listen to it live on the radio and watch it to talk about, Entergy will be there to talk about their problems. Next week, I'm going to co-chair an joint insurance meeting. So if you have any issues with insurance, please call me, send it an email to my office, 736-7299. One thing, if you get denied on the assistance living expenses, save that denial letter because you should be able to apply to FEMA and hopefully get that paid for. The FEMA rules kind of change every day. There's no set thing. For Hurricane Andrew, it was something different. For Zeta, it was something different. For Laura, but keep your receipts, especially when you're getting trees cut down. I had a tree cut down on my mom's house. Even though it was a handwritten receipt, please get something, get their license number. I posted on my Facebook page some tips about what to ask the roofer, whether, the roofer, the shingles are good to 150 miles an hour. Are they this? Are they that? All those things are negotiable, but all those things, you really ought to, look at those tips. You're very tempted just to grab the first roofer and say, you'll actually put my roof on, do it tomorrow. But, take those steps and save every piece of paper and everything. So just be diligent on that. And, anything we can do, Mr. Mayor, from our office, let us know. But, obviously I think Cox Cable is the biggest issue that we're all kind of hammering on right now. So I assure you, Representative Ilg and I are on top of them and speaking to them daily. So that's being said, if y'all have any questions, I'd be happy to answer anything. That's it. Great. Thank you. All right.
So Senator Talbot has Ms. T in his office. He can't do his job without her. State Rep Ilg has Ms. Candy in his office. He can't do his job without her. So when they give you them phone numbers and y'all really want to get something done, that's who you calling.
I wanted to give everybody a chance to get their reports out, and just because it was, as you can tell, it was quite a feat to choreograph this dance and get this cleanup in motion and get it to where we are today. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of phone calls and a lot of working with all of my department heads and my state representatives, state senator. I'm always going to tell you how lucky we are to have this team, and no negative to anyone, but I do think that this is the best team Harahan's ever had, from state senator, state representative, councilman, mayor, police chief, fire chief. It's been incredible. All right, so this just for our reference, this is the strongest storm that's ever hit Harahan that we have on record. They're going to actually rate it a Category 5 that when it came in, and even just for a minute, this storm was so strong that it made the Mississippi flow backwards. Again, these are going to be a lot of challenges that we're going to try to turn in opportunities, and we're going to work hard to get there. Here's some pictures of some things that we thought were incredible and should be mentioned. The first one is the building right there on the corner of Hickory and Jeff Highway. The whole wall had come out. We had a wind event that came down Hickory. We think the wind was clocked in at over 140 miles an hour. Right here, the second building is the Blue Flash building that the roof was taken off like a can opener. Again, then we'll come to where it's a bunch of tree debris, just so this event, for some odd reason, the trees actually flew into the power lines and then twisted all up. This was someone's patio cover that we found. I think we actually found a part of Kelly's building on Oak Street. That's what we was making fun of her as, because we were trying to find some kind of light in this mess. And but that's actually someone's patio cover. The bottom two pictures are Kim Ann's, and the next one is Philly cheesesteak. And that was just some of the devastation. I mean, they lost their whole roof, and it was a pretty good mess that they had there. Okay, so this is us bringing generators in from all over. I'm not quite sure where the big picture was from. This is in the middle of the night. We getting these generators off this flatbed just to try to get what we're doing here is getting sewer back up. Sewer is of course, it's a safety issue. We need to get sewer back up as quick and fast as we can. This is Kelly and her husband and their crews. And then with all the council help and millions of phone calls calling for generators, we were able to get generators from Canada to New Mexico. Where we at? We were, I even wrote down a couple of places, Odessa, Texas, Miami, Canada, and New Mexico. And so we worked real hard. It was a lot of phone calls, a lot of organization. All right, so we got to give a little special thanks here to the Wheeler family. Truth is that these guys got out, their family got out and was able to get the gas situation under control because it became very relevant very fast, whether you had gasoline or not. And we didn't want to create or have mass chaos. The Wheeler family came out, and of course, at the helm of the Queen, Councilwoman Carrie Wheeler, they put an organizing plan in place. Councilman Chatelain and I got the energy there with the generators, got them wired, got them going, and then Councilman Wheeler took it from there, kept everybody organized, kept everybody, safe, and kept gas flowing to keep, generators in our houses. That's a picture of all of us eating at Bill Latterer's right there at Courtyard on the Ridge. If you can see that whole wall's missing in the back. And we did want to know if we actually had to charge, he was going to charge us extra for have that gazebo area right there for us. We even got some national news. NBC News came here, shot a lot of stuff in Harahan. For me, I wasn't an elected official during Katrina. I did stay, but this devastation to me for Ida is so much more. Hickory Avenue had such issues there, and then Colonial Club Drive didn't even have a power pole standing. This is Mr. Tommy Wilcox, who came down, and he's incredible. He's a Harahan resident. So he brought us all kind of supplies. This is in the middle. This is, I can't tell who you got there. This is a high school from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, that came down, brought us a bunch of supplies. This is Bill Lark over at American Standard, AC Supply, and they did a bunch of foods for all first responders. The way the community came around us was incredible. It was amazing to see. The next picture is, let me see what you got here. So that's Mr. DeWitt, who came down in the middle with Representative Ilg. The next picture you're going to see, that's the mayor of Lawrenceville. The mayor of Lawrenceville, they came down from Lawrenceville, Louisiana, brought us ice and water. And I'm trying to see. Oh, the first picture is from Shreveport. That's from Shreveport that came down to bring us water and ice and support Harahan. It was a lot of outreach. A lot of mayors got involved. And I got to meet a lot of mayors this year at the LMA conference. And I truly think that mayors and local government, or the Marines, we're the first line of defense. We're the boots on the ground. We don't want to get really working hard to get it going. This is us. Actually, we got out. We brought in two 18-wheelers of ice. I believe it was about 8,800 bags of ice. We went out through the city along with the fire department, and we handed out ice and water to everybody. The second picture is actually we had, during the food drive we had with the senator and his crew at St. Rita, a group came in from Old Jefferson, and they said, we need ice and water in Old Jefferson. Can you please come help us? We had a bunch of elderly people, and we went into this neighborhood. That's Councilman Wheeler, Councilman Chatelain, and myself. And we went and handed out ice and water to this elderly neighborhood in Old Jefferson. We also had a lot of help from the Red Cross. We did a giveaway right here in front of City Hall. It was incredible to have them come and assist. And what they gave in the bin was cleaning supplies and shovels and rakes to help us get our yards and our houses clean. So thank you very, very much to the Red Cross. They were incredible. So this is this is Senator Talbot and my staff actually working with them at St. Rita, handing out Coke products, and we handed out close to 1,000 meals at St. Rita. It was incredible. It was spaghetti and jambalaya. The spaghetti was definitely better than the jambalaya. And then that's the third picture is the fire department hosting some of the linemen. Thank you so much, fire department, for doing that. And for us as councilmen, what we did in the morning was we went out and we tried to get them ice and water at the very beginning of the moment to try to keep them cool and hydrated throughout the day, because we knew treating them well, they would want to, you treat somebody good, they want to give it back. And even as some of the crews started to leave, they have even told us, God, we don't want to leave Harahan. We love working here. The hospitality has been something special, and it made us really feel good. So I really like to give some props to Congressman Scalise. He has been a phone call away. Every single time I've called him, he's always picked up. His staff has got me any information that I need. He's actually working with an important project with me right now, trying to help with the fire department. We actually had the Coast Guard here helping us, and we also had another mayor. the mayor that came in from Texas? Brian, I'm having a hard time reading your hand. New Waverly, Texas. Yes, New Waverly, Texas. So a mayor that's actually working for an energy company coming down to help us. So he actually was a small town mayor, just like myself, and he kind of really knew what we were dealing with. And one of those Coast Guard members, the one in the middle with the white mask, he actually went to St. Rita. So it was really cool to get to meet some locals that actually came back to help us with the response team. And of course, the Coast Guard protected the levee because it is, it is national security. This is us heading down to Lafitte with Councilman Ilg. State Representative Ilg. Thank you so much for inviting us to come down and help the mayor of Lafitte, and that's his father, Representative Tim Kerner. And we gave 4,400 bags of ice down there, and I believe we handed out about 1,500 meals with Representative Ilg and Otmac. It was incredible. I know that we're having some challenges, but I got to drive through the city of Lafitte for a little bit, and when you see marsh on top of people's cars and houses, and see water lines that are 14 feet in the air, and people had to be rescued from houses on stilts from their rooftops, it really starts to it puts a lot of things in perspective of how well we done, even as bad as we really did. But wow, it could have always been so much worse. And like Representative Ilk said, we got to look in, where we are today, because we were a lot further than most, and it was because of a real team effort here, and we really worked our butts off. This is Pedro's, and this is our businesses opening back up, trying to get us fed. Pedro's had got their restaurant generated and got power back up, and they've been feeding citizens ever since. Royal Thai was actually got back open, and they've been helping the business community here in Harahan. It was real unique. This is Red Wagon, a true Harahan story, y'all. They're that's Harahan through and through, and let's get out and try to support them when we can. But they're a story all in itself. The bowling alley, of course, what an incredible icon for Harahan. And then side of the seafood, Jason should be back open and rolling pretty good. Best soft shell crab I've honestly ever had. So our business community has been great. We got to do some national TV, which has been incredible. We did Toledo, Ohio, and but there's a lot of people I'd like to thank real fast. First, like I said, we've done so much to work with our business community and support them through COVID, and for that, we saw such an opportunity there. It created such a relationship and such an open door policy that we were able to help facilitate the growth of their businesses in most instances. Year to date, this year over 2020, we're actually up 420,000 in sales. And I know we're comparing that to an anomaly year of a COVID year, but so we pulled the following year prior, and we're actually up this year over 200,000 in sales tax revenue. We've had the highest August ever, and we truly attribute that to this team supporting business and this community supporting our business and buying local. It's really important, guys. It's really important for our city, and it's really important because it helps with a lot of funding and programs that we need that can help you. Some people I'd really like to thank real fast. Mayor Crystal Springs, Sally Garland, Crystal Springs United Methodist Church, New Zion Baptist Church, Mississippi Department of Education, Crystal Springs Hardware, Sojourner Trucking, and Hood Petroleum. Red Cross, Mayor Laurisville, Brad Clifton, MRCTI, who sent down 3 generators, which 2 of those generators actually saved someone's life because they had no power and they were elderly. We needed to get them back up and have some kind of air movement in the house. Councilman Dino Bonanno, his assistant Dwayne Munch, Councilman Ricky Template, Congressman Steve Scalise, Police Chief of West Wego, Pancho Munch, Mr. Bill Latter, of course, he was been incredible throughout this whole deal. Tommy Wilcox, who is a Harahanian but now lives in Alabama. We won't hold that against him. And RFC Foods, who loaned the fire department a refrigerator truck to store some of their food in so we can have that food when those guys needed it. I'd love to, my council has just been incredible. Fire department, I can't even speak so much praise. You have been unbelievable. Such a beacon of knowledge you guys have taught me through the storm. Police department has just been, the communication that I've had with the police department has been probably like none I don't know if any mayor has ever had before. We speak on a multi-daily basis, and I truly feel like it's been a real part of keeping our community safe because we support them and those guys keep you safe. 2 other people I'd really like to thank that are real important to me, State Representative John Ilg and State Senator Kirk Talbert. They're here at our meetings. You see them here. It's so important. You know, I've served on 3 councils, you know, and I've served on our 3 mayors, and I don't think the city's gotten the attention that these 2 give us now, and I think it's incredible. They've taught me a lot. They've taught me a lot about the legislature, and they taught me a lot about, you know, how to work hard to get help for our city through the process. They've been incredible, and I can't say as much as I should say about them. So we just, one thing I really want to touch on real quick that's off topic. If you put things in front of your house in one big pile, that's going to be the last to get picked up. Do not put stuff in front of your house in one big pile. Separate your goods. You can go on as leafy debris. You know, you want to definitely keep your garbage in your garbage cans. You want to keep your bags, you know, separate your bags. You want to keep your white goods, whatever your washing machine dries, you want to keep that separated. So separate your goods, your construction debris, your C&D, you'll hear that a lot. C&D construction should be separate. If you mix it all up, it will sit in front of your house for a long time. We got a lot of way to go here to get the city cleaned up. And if the citizens can help us, you know, just remembering that, that's incredible. But the citizens have been incredible at it. Anyway, this is one thing that's becoming and really important to us as a community, and we're going to talk more about this throughout the next coming weeks. If you hire a contractor, he is 100% responsible for picking up that debris, whether it be roofs, whether it be yanking out sheetrock. If you do it yourself, we will be here to assist you. If you hire a professional contractor, they have to pick it up, or the homeowner will be cited. We don't want to come out and cite you. We need you to help us enforce this. And we're already having it throughout the city. We're having tons of problems where some contractors are coming out, and now there's tons of nails and tires, or it's making the cleanup even harder. We need to be able to make sure that this cleanup goes as planned. It's a safety issue. You know, we need to be able to move the fire and police in and out of these streets as quick as we possibly can. They don't need to be rolling over nails or construction debris that's being placed out in the street by contractors. It's bad enough that, or hard enough, I should say, that we're doing it, but we don't need contractors actually multiplying the problem. So please, 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 make sure your professional contractors pick up their debris and haul it away. It's the law. Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk.
Okay, approval of minutes. Reading of the minutes of the emergency council meeting on August 30th.
Okay, approval of minutes. We're now open for public hearing. Anyone who wants to come up and speak on approval of the minutes? All right, no one coming forth. We'll now close public hearing.
Move to dispense with the reading of the minutes.
All right, we have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes by Councilman Asbill. Can I have a second by Councilman Chatelain? All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Reading has been dispensed.
And approval of the minutes of the emergency council meeting on August 30th.
All right. I will now open for public hearing. Anyone who want to come forward to speak about the minutes of the emergency council meeting on August 19th? No one coming forth. We'll now close public hearing. A motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Buddy, second by Councilman Wheeler. To approve those minutes? We approving?
Yes.
On
Yes.
the
Yes.
30th, right? Is that what
On
we-
the 30th.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, yay.
Okay, so 5 yeas, 0 nays. Those minutes are approved.
Reading of the minutes of the council meeting on August 19th.
Okay, we now open for public hearing. Anyone want to speak on the minutes of the council meeting from August 19th? No one coming forth. We'll now close public hearing. Can I have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
Moved.
We have a motion by Councilman Asbill,
Second.
second by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Reading of the minutes of the
And
August
approval of
19th
the
meeting.
minutes of the council meeting on August 19th.
Okay, so approval of the minutes of the council meeting on August 19th. Anyone who comes forth to speak about the minutes? No one coming forth. We'll now close public hearing. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Wheeler, second by Councilman Buddy. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Minutes are approved.
There are no communications and resolutions. Proposed resolution number 2021-12. An emergency resolution of the Harahan City Council authorizing the administration to temporarily waive permit fees if the permit was necessitated by damages from Hurricane Ida.
So we have a proposed resolution 2021-12 on the floor. Anyone like to come speak? Public hearing is now open. No one coming forth. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
No discussion.
I'd just like to kind of go over what the resolution's about because it wasn't advertised. We added it from the floor tonight. The resolution, again, is to temporarily waive permit fees if the permit is necessitated by damages from Hurricane Ida. So this is, you know, if your house has damages from the storm, come in and get your permit. We're temporarily waiving those fees. If you have received a permit already, this resolution would authorize the mayor to return those fees. This is not for those who are coming in building a brand-new home. They still have to pay their regular permit fees and stuff like that.
Anyone else? No, we already opened for public hearing. Huh? Yeah, we did. Okay, so proposed resolution number 2021, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays, proposed resolution passes.
There are no ordinances
Oh.
for,
I just asked if there was a time period to when this is in effect till.
Yeah, this is in effect till December 31st, 2021, unless extended by the council.
As long as it's hurricane related.
Right, as long as it's hurricane
Hurricane
related,
related,
till December 31st. And we're still going to track those because there are times where you can,
You still are required to get your permits,
How about
do the
say-
right thing.
yes, you have to get your permits, you have to do the right thing. The
Have to get inspections.
regulatory is going to track the permit fees so that if there is an opportunity for reimbursement through some government agency, whether it be the state or the federal government, we're going to track those so that we can get those reimbursed hopefully.
So let me be clear what they're saying. They're not saying you do not have to come get a permit. You still have to come get a permit, but it will be, the fees will be waived. So come get your permit so we can get your inspections done and we can get everybody rolling. So just to reiterate that one more time, we are not saying you do not have to get a permit. I've been hearing that a lot. You do have to come get a permit. You just won't have any fees at this moment in time.
all right, no ordinances for approval, no ordinances for introduction, no old business, and new business number 1. Todd Tudion, Finance Director, monthly financials with budget to actual comparisons.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. We'll keep our comments brief tonight. So the mayor showed his slide on the sales tax revenue. We mentioned that at many of the recent meetings, that the sales tax revenue continues to be up within the city, so that's a positive. Each month, it stayed around 220 to 240,000 a month. In prior years, it's normally between 190, 200 a month. So certainly, it's been fairly consistently high since COVID, for about the last 12 months. Video poker revenue is also up. We had budgeted that fairly conservatively, and that's up this year as well. So hopefully we'll continue to see that. On the expense side, certainly we have some expenses that are over budget, some are under budget. And we did have a budget meeting scheduled for this month. Obviously, Ida canceled that, and we'll work to prepare the books as of September 30th and prepare for the budget meeting in October. So that'll be good. That'll be nine months of actual activity with 3 months of projections, forecast. So we should have a pretty good feel for where we'll end up at the end of the year. So with that, I'm open to any questions the
And all
mayor
our
has.
Zeta reimbursement has been submitted. We're waiting on Zeta reimbursement, which is kind of affecting the budget right now until we get that reimbursement.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, the way FEMA reimbursements work, and we do have some for Hurricane Zeta that have been filed or submitted, and we're working on reimbursement for those, is we have to pay those bills, and those amounts will show up as an expense within the general fund, and the revenue is not recorded until we actually receive the cash.
Got it.
So it's a deficit in the general fund until we're reimbursed.
Got it. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, new business number 2, notice is hereby given that at its meeting held on October 21st, 2021 at 7 p.m. at its regular meeting place, the City Hall Council Chambers, 6437 Jefferson Highway, Harahan, Louisiana, the City Council of the City of Harahan, State of Louisiana, plans to consider adopting a resolution ordering and calling an election to be held in the City of Harahan to authorize the levy of a sales and use tax therein. And new business number 3, the 2021 budget discussion on October 21st from 6 to 7 p.m., which is the regularly scheduled council meeting. We'll start prior to that.
Waive notice?
I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to call the meeting of the budget meeting on October 1st, 6 PM.
Second.
Second by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
Time, 6
Notices,
o'clock.
yeah, 6 o'clock. Notice has been waived.
And it's just a discussion. We're not taking any action on amending anything. It's strictly just a discussion about the 2021 budget up to year-to-date. We said September, Todd. We're going to try to get the numbers in by September.
Right.
Okay.
Right, we'll have the actual amounts through September 30th and project for the 3 months. And with the delay, I guess, with the delay of a month in the budget hearing, it probably will necessitate a budget amendment shortly thereafter.
Okay.
at a
So maybe
future
November to
meeting.
December, something
Right,
like that.
Right.
Okay.
Certainly before the end of the year, we would expect to have a budget amendment presented to the council.
Okay.
And address the council.
Would anyone like to come forward and address the council? No, no one coming forth. We'll now close address the council. Secretary's report.
Secretary's report for August, total revenue, $356,174.
Okay.
And reports.
Chief Walker. Okay. All right. Chief Sincere, you good?
I'd just like to reiterate how happy the police are.
I didn't get one of them, hey, y'all spatial received. I gotta tell you, my tongue is feeling a little growling right now. Councilman Asbill?
So just one request to the citizens. First of all, thank you all so much for being cooperative in placing your debris out to the curb and separating it. One thing we do need to be careful of, and the fire department and AT&T has asked us to remind you that when you're putting out your debris, make sure you're not putting it near obstructions such as fire hydrants, mailboxes, AT&T communication boxes, whatever it might be. Just make sure it's away from stuff and separated like you have been. And I was, just a quick report on the storm. I was privileged enough to be able to send my family out of town the Thursday before the storm. And so I spent the storm, I hunkered down at the fire station with the Harahan Fire Department. I don't know if that was the best idea because the building started to fall apart while we were there. There was water coming down the walls, water coming out of the electrical panels, the roof was coming off, the doors were bellowing in. The gym was flooding. It's still flooded, actually. And so I just want to make sure that the council understands and the citizens understand it's really important that we need to find something soon for these guys to make livable for them so that we can get them into some temporary quarters and get them set up so that they can operate as the fire department that they want to be and that they can be. So thank you. Appreciate your time tonight.
Councilman Bud.
I just want to repeat what a lot of people have said tonight, to thank everybody who contributed to getting the city back up and running, and it was a huge effort. And I was a very small part of that. I was somewhat limited in what I could participate in, but I made some meetings, I was aware of what was being done, and I am so proud of the employees, the mayor, the administration, and my fellow council members who I think work 20-hour days along with our police department, our fire department. We're lucky. We're lucky to be represented by employees and elected officials. We're fortunate to live in Harahan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Buck.
Councilman Chatelain?
First, I'd like to thank my family. Storms are tough. I mean, my wife's a nurse. She doesn't leave. I don't leave. My kids are here. My dad's here. I will do my best next time to get my kids out of this here for a storm. They're a little older now. I will get them somewhere with family members. It's tough to go to work all day, come home and deal with your family, you know, when they're stuck home. And it's a difficult time. I'd like to thank all of my employees. Every one of my employees stepped up and did exactly what we need to do as a team. I never once asked one of my employees to do something and they said no. And we're all frustrated. I probably pissed off people in the residence. I mean, but when you're coming at us 100 directions, we're doing everything we can to give you everything we can. We fight at home, me and my wife, me and my in-laws, me and my dad, my brother. It's a lot of stress. Some people sit here and they come back and they sit there and complain because they still have trees in front of their house. Guys, move on. Next. Let's go. We still have citizens in Harahan today with no electricity. Today, no electricity still in Harahan. Energy's going above and beyond. You know, they call me, can you call your buddy? Can you call your buddy? Guys, they're overwhelmed too. They're overworked, overwhelmed. It's a lot. And everyone here in the whole city, residents and all, the majority of them stood up, did what they had to do. Police department, fire department, the gas stations. I mean, y'all realize we're the first ones to have gas pumps working. I mean, we stepped up, we put generators in, people came out, got gas. Everybody up here did their part. I mean, Councilman Wheeler, she's a gas attendant now. If you want to know anything about pumping gas, you go see the Wheeler family, they can help you. And as crazy as it sounds, it was a dangerous job. They did an excellent job. The police department was there every time we called. Fire department there every time we called. Administration, anything we asked for, we had. Jefferson Parish, we asked for a meeting, bam, they called us, said, meet us here. 9 o'clock at night, we meeting with Jefferson Parish, doing what we got to do. Everyone went above and beyond. I thank everyone. If I offended anyone, I apologize. But we're moving forward from here, and if there's anything I can help you with, call me. I'm here to help you. Thank you all.
Councilman Johnson?
I'll come in fourth. Everybody already did all the thanks, so just thanks to everybody.
Buddy.
Hey, you want to talk about St. Rita real fast? Just let people know that,
About what?
just the school's not closed for 3 weeks. You want to talk about that?
We don't know how long it's going.
Oh, go on, jeez.
So St. Rita's Church took a big hit. We getting a lot of phone calls. They have a lot of equipment out there. They're cleaning the church, getting it all ready. They did actually shut school down. It's just a preliminary precaution. They're going to go through and assess the school also to see. We don't think it's anything major, but they're taking the extra caution. They have a lot of construction workers on site. It's not the best thing to have the kids around all these construction workers. We don't know. There's equipment running around. You know, what if a kid wanders off? I think the school made the best decision. I mean, the decision was made by the Archdiocese, and we support their decision and look forward to having them back on campus as soon as possible. I think Father Steve is having church this weekend in the gym at St. Rita. We are looking at moving it to another location, possibly Harahan Playground, to have some masses. We don't know. We didn't make that decision. I think we're going to make them decisions Monday. But we're here to help anyone in the community. It's still, if there's something anyone in this community needs, they need to reach out to us. We're here to help.
And we don't know if they don't reach out.
Yeah.
Please reach out. We're all incredibly accessible, so please reach out.
I mean, you could ask a stupid question. I'm going to think it's a stupid question, but I'm going to do my best to answer it.
Councilman Wheeler?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody. I am honestly so proud to actually live in this city. This was my first storm. Katrina, my kids were younger. We evacuated. I had my reservations too. I don't know if I will stay through another one. It got hairy at times. I'm sure everybody felt the same. We all got at wit's end, physically, mentally, emotionally. Everybody was just exhausted, and we just trudged through every day. And, you know, we had our little heated moments, and we got it all out, and we got back together and just became a strong, I'm so proud of the fire department. I'm so proud of the police department. It was just an experience. I'm not saying I want the next storm to come anytime soon. But yeah, if you do need your gas pumped, we know how to pump it. We will even clean your windshield. We'll check your tire pressures while we're at it. I do want to give credit to Reserve Officer Brandon Kister, if I'm pronouncing his last name. That officer was there with us from the minute that gas station opened till the minute it closed. I know there were some other officers, I think Officer Schneider. There were quite a few of them initially. I don't remember everybody's names, but I know they know who they are. They were there. We never had a problem. I appreciate Ray being open to allow our first responders to get their tanks filled up. I appreciate the citizens being understanding, because initially it came out, oh, they're hoarding all the gas just for fire and police. And yes, the first day, that was it. We had to fill them up first so they can clean the streets. If they had to make calls, if Blue Flash had to go pick up the sewer, if Rob Chung. So I kind of got beat up on WWL radio because there's the councilman out there hoarding gas.
Councilwoman.
Yeah, so clearly that's
Only
me. Day two, we realized we had some more gas in reserve, and we started opening up. People were very understanding. They formed a line. We did have to cut it off so we can have reserves for our night shift guys to come in. Overall, it was perfect. It worked out well. I appreciate everybody's patience. It was a very trying time. One, I hope that we never see anytime soon. And again, I'm just so proud, and thank y'all so much. Have a good night.
Two people I forgot to thank, Entergy and Cox. I've been working with my Energy rep and my Cox rep, trying to get you guys back on. And as of today, this evening, we were actually 100% up, but tonight we had a couple of streets go down. And I'm sure they're working on it right now hard. We actually was able to work with my Energy rep, and we're actually working with my Energy rep, getting some power back up in River Ridge as well. I mean, they were just, again, so responsive and very receptive. We also had First Energy here. They had Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. That's most of the trucks you saw on your street, and they were great. We try to do as much as we could, bring them water, bring them ice, bring them everything we can to keep them happy. The fire department help them, had them fed, and so it was unique for me because I have 3 that are at LSU, and the storm was supposed to jog west and take out Baton Rouge, and so I brought them home. So didn't jog west, came right back east over us, but thank goodness they were there because I have a new water feature in my bedroom that pumps into all kind of water, and so we were able to get some of the moving bins and catch the water as it was pouring through the ceiling. And but it was tough, it was tough, it was scary having my family there. I sat through Katrina alone. I actually sent my family away for Katrina. This one was quite different. Katrina came in, hit us real hard and fast, and was gone. This one sat on us for hours, and it was, I don't know, it was a little scary at best. My wife, I would like to thank her because she did a lot of work with me, and she stayed side by side and toe to toe with me in the city. And I know a lot of people, may have not have seen it like I've seen it, and but she's incredible. She loves the city as much as I do, and she was awesome. So thank all my staff, thank all my state senators, my state representatives, every single person that helped us. I want to make sure we try to include everyone because it was such a big deal to get Harahan, even I would think at the 50% that we are now, and we are so fortunate and so much better than others. And I was on a conference call today with Congressman Scalise and other elected officials through the state, and I mean, there's just nothing but devastation and destruction. Again, people still living in tents, houses, cars. I got to see Lafitte. There was mud on top of cars, marsh. I don't know if you guys know, but the storm surge picked the marsh up and put the marsh on top of the town, and so it was pretty devastating to see. So we're very fortunate with what we have, and we're very fortunate to have this team, and I'm very proud of them. So thank you guys.
Can I say one more thing? Kelly with Blue Flash, her building on Hickory, destroyed. It's totaled. She hasn't missed a day. She was here every day. Rob Chong, he lives out in St. Rose,
Yeah.
Monts, Norco, somewhere out there. He still don't have electricity. He texted me when he left here. He had to go. His generator killed. His wife and family home. These people are stepping up, doing what they need to do, and they're fighting their own battles too. So we greatly appreciate it.
So we are always better together, and I love that slogan, better together. And as a community, we'll always be better together. And as we work harder and we see the dividend that pays from us working from being better together, look at where we are now compared to others.
Mayor, one more.
And what saved us was 20 miles. I mean, if it was 20 miles this way, we'd have got it. I mean, I think Harry Lee and one of them said it best when Katrina hit New Orleans. They said 20 miles. That's what saved us.
Another member of my staff, Brian Wallace, he's been incredible through this event, and he's been with me and by my side every step of the way. And I mean, he's been incredible since the day I hired him. And then through this event, he really, his sun really shined, and he put his family and everything on his side. He lost his entire roof. He lost everything he owned, and he has put everything on his side to stay in here with us day in and day out, every single day. And I don't even know. That's got to be one heck of a challenge to have gone through, to know you lost everything and still show up at work and work overtime at that. That's incredible. So thank you, family, for allowing me to have you, and so thank you so much. Madam Clerk.
All right, pay bills. Bills paid in August, $671,291.73. And there's no executive session, and adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Asbill to adjourn. All in favor? Yay. 5 yeas, 0 nays. We are adjourned.